Hello and welcome to Lore of the Cards, the series that looks to find the lore hidden in your Hearthstone deck. Well, we're still waiting on those card reveals, so I don't see why we shouldn't have a bit more fun predicting some of the cards we might see. Besides, I looked out the window and it doesn't look like this hype train is stopping anytime soon. So last time we looked at possible legendaries. By the way guys, I think Muradin Bronzebeard is a great call. So this time we're going to look at creatures that haven't been in Hearthstone previously, but may be introduced in this expansion. It's very likely we're going to see more of the Undead come into the game. I mean, it's the theme of the expansion after all. Like with the legendaries, the trailer gives us strong clues as to some of the Undead we may be seeing. Firstly, we could get skeletons this expansion. Yes, we have seen skeletons in Hearthstone before, but none of them have been collectible cards. Adventure cards? Yes. Cards that never saw print? Yes. But no skeletons to call our own. It's about time too, as skeletons have been a part of the Warcraft franchise since the very first game. They were either being risen to fight for their orc necrolite masters, or mysterious entities held together by forces too dark for most to comprehend. In fact, they've been in every Warcraft game. In Warcraft 2, they were risen by the Horde's spellcasting unit, the Death Knights, different to those of the Scourge. In Warcraft 3, it was the Undead's Necromancer unit that could turn the corpses of their foes against them, or rise up their own forces for a second assault. More often than not, skeletons are mindless automatons, their attacks and actions dictated to them by those that raise them. It is magic that holds a skeleton's bones together. It can dissipate, causing the skeleton to collapse if the gaunt construct is sufficiently damaged. More advanced necromancers are able to raise skeletons capable of spell work. Some skeletons are intelligent, such as the Scourge's Obrahim the Traveller, the architect of Naxxramas and Arceus. Hailed as a hero of the Scourge, he has been missing since he decided to set out in search of Zinashari, once the great capital of the Night Elves. Skeletons of the Scourge come in many different forms, either as just bone, clearly risen in the heat of battle, still equipped with a weapon and armour, skeletal mages, variecal skeletons, and towering skeletal giants. The Geist is another undead seen in the trailer some Hearthstone players may be unfamiliar with. Hooded creatures that crawl along on all fours, one bulbous eye peering through a single hole torn into their hood. Wait a minute, tell a lie, they are on the Twisting Nether card, but I do mean as a minion. These agile and vicious undead are one of the lower ranking creatures of the Scourge, often hunting enemies down in fast moving packs and even being utilised for more manual labour among the Scourge. Many Geists are executed criminals reborn into undeath, their former lives being betrayed by the nooses that still hang round their necks. The other previously unseen Scourge we see depicted in the trailer is the Plague Eruptor. These powerful undead were added to the Lich King's ranks in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion for WoW. A recently developed experiment of the King, these beasts were designed to spread horror and chaos among the living. They are strong, deceptively quick, and extremely fast to anger. It was not long before the Eruptors became one of the most feared creations of the Scourge army. The most devastating weapon within the Eruptors' arsenal are the glistening green boils found all over their rotting bodies. These contain the Undead Plague. Within these sacks of skin, the plague festers until eventually it bursts forth. This means the Eruptors are not only a physical force to be reckoned with, but also spread the Lich King's devastating contagion wherever they go. While the Plague Eruptors often dwarf their adversaries, there are several Scourge creatures yet to be added to Hearthstone that make the Eruptor look like a mouse in comparison. The giant skeletons I've already mentioned. Flesh beasts are another giant variety of Scourge that could be added into the game. I did mention them last video when talking about Putricide's creations Rotface and Festergut. It was Putricide that invented this powerful form of undead. Perhaps Rotface and Festagut were two of the first. There is no deep lore to the flesh beasts, they just seem to be an upgrade upon the already powerful abomination variety of undead, stitched together using multiple corpses but using a greater variety of creatures than the abomination to create something more powerful and more gruesome. We may see plague dogs. While we have seen Gluth as a boss encounter of the Naxxramas adventure, we've yet to see these undead beasts as a collectible card. The Flesh Giants are another huge undead that could make their way to the game for knights. They are made in a similar manner to abominations, stitching together various body parts from different corpses to create an even more powerful creature. The body parts used to create the Flesh Giants, however, come from the Storm Giants of Northrend, and as a result, they are extremely powerful, able to act as living battering rams, utilising their tremendous strength to carry out the will of the Lich King. I did mention them last video, but I'll also do so here. The Varghul may well be added in this expansion. The risen corpses of Varghul deemed unworthy to become Ymirja. Unlike many of the Scourge, the Varghul retain much of their personality and free will, but are feeble when compared to their Ymirja betters, something which causes them to resent their own existence. The unfortunate trolls of the Drakari tribe may make an appearance. Once a force to be reckoned with in Northrend, they folded before the might of the Scourge. Their mighty outpost Draktheron keep falling, many of those slain being risen as undead. Those that lived would eventually become desperate as the Lich King's assault continued. They turned on their gods, the animalistic Loa, killing them and using their power to combat the Scourge, for what little good it did. I've also got this hunch that we might, just might, see a few more Death Knights, but you never know, I could be wrong about that. So, there we are, a few more predictions before the big reveal. I'm very much looking forward to it. No doubt we'll see some familiar undead types return on top of these ones as well. Are there any I missed that you think will make the expansion? As always, I'd be interested in what you all have to say. If you enjoyed this video, like it, tell your friends, and subscribe. I mean, that's what the Scourge did and they became pretty big. Of course, if you think the light should cleanse this channel from existence, then hit the dislike button. Until next time, happy Hearthstoning.